Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining my presentation.
Good morning.
Today, I would like to share with you our story, how my team of 4 people changed the way how a multi-million-dollar company is doing the business. And basically, it is a 7 years old or 7 years long story. And in the presentation, I would like to focus on the topics how Bizagi is helping us with the life insurance underwriting and large risk underwriting as well. And it helps us in a way that it really provide flexible and better service for our sales network. A little bit about myself. My name is Jan Marek. I'm working as a team leader in a Generali group. I'm working for Generali for 7 years now. And I'm in charge of 2 teams. One team is creating the BPM applications, and the other one is preparing or developing the front end for brokers in terms of life insurance quotation system. I have a master's degree in application IT, and I'm a big fan of mobile application development. So, a little bit about the company that I work for. Generali is an insurance provider. It is an Italian insurance company. We are a global corporate which is headquartered in Milano. I'm working for a small branch in Czech Republic, which is a small country in the middle of the Europe. Generali is, in general, providing all the types of the insurance that you can imagine. We are providing car insurance, health insurance, life insurance, and etc. We are serving all the types of the clients that you can imagine as well. We are providing the insurance to the individuals, SMEs, and also to the corporate clients. Currently, we have in Czech Republic almost 4,000 employees with more than 4,500 sales branches. So it is a large company. Currently, we are the market leaders in Czech Republic. We got almost 24% market share. And in portfolio, we roughly have over 8 million contracts. All right, let's move to our challenges that we had to face during our journey. It is nothing special. You heard those challenges in many presentations that you already listened during the event. Basically, we were facing workflow inconsistencies. We were facing duplication entries. Most of the processes that time when we were considering the launch of the BPM program, many processes were paper-based, and also there is a regulatory changing backdrop. Since we are still part of the European Union, we have to be compliant with all the legislation that comes by, including the famous GDPR or IDD. So those were the challenges that led to a BPM program that is running for almost 7 years. So our approach. During that time, we were looking for a robust BPM platform that will allow us to somehow help the back office users with the underwriting processes. Based on the challenges that I mentioned before, we choose to launch 2 independent projects. One was the life insurance underwriting, and the other one was the large risk underwriting processes that should be implemented in the BPM. So this is the high level picture of how the IT architecture looks those days. Basically, we have two different types of clients. We have the brokers and the clients, which are communicating through the web browsers with our ESB platform, which is providing the API for the backend system. And we have strong integration with the DMS, document management system, and there is a Bizagi BPM engine, which is providing the front end for the back office users. So every case that is requested from brokers or from clients is launched automatically without any manual entries. So, and those cases are distributed automatically to the correct back office users according to their roles and skills.
So Jan, may I just interject a little bit? And you mentioned your approach at the very start and about how the business was looking at this. Can you give me more of an explanation of how this came up? What part of the business actually approached you and said, we need to fix some of these things? Because process and workflow are more the detail. What about the higher level component?
Basically, it was the product management and the back office guys that needed the help with the quotation time, and they basically want to reduce the number of errors that appear during the quotation or during the underwriting, so that those were the guys that came up to our team and said, oh, we need help, basically.
Okay, very good.
Actually, what I didn't mention yet, all the projects were agile driven, and we tried to put the business and IT together to speed up the environment, to speed up the development and speed up the implementation of those projects. So that was basically the change that we needed to do. What I would like to mention also as well is that you can see here that we got here a policy management system. It is an old AS400 from IBM. Basically, the integration with the system is done via file batches that are run regularly. Basically, it is because this mainframe is not providing the integration layer that we can use on a regular basis. And this is going to change, hopefully, during next few months, because we are implementing a new integration layer using the IBM MyQ. Okay. So basically, our goal was to give our back office users single workflow tool that will allow them to process the quotations or the underwriting cases without need of switching to the other applications. This is very tightly connected with the integrations, because the system needs to be able to communicate with our DMS system and also with the clients and brokers. So the user needs to be able to communicate via SMS, emails, client zones, broker portals, and stuff like that.
So on that previous slide, Jan, you mentioned some of the pieces here which outlined some of your solution here. Tell me more about the single workflow. Tell me about the platform you generated here and you created here.
Basically, it is Bizagi engine, which is run in a platform or on premises. We are not using any clouds or whatsoever because we got our own data center in Mogliano in Italy, and so that's what we use right now.
Okay. And the process optimization, how did you achieve this?
Yeah. Basically, the process optimization is something that is long-term run. We are trying to improve the process all the time. So basically, the platform that we are using is currently able to create versions of the workflows that could be deployed to the production basically on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something that helped to somehow solve the backlog that we currently have within the scope.
Fantastic. And I believe the measurability was all about looking at this current project, but also how you replicate this going forward.
Basically, the measurability is something that came up when the project was launched. Basically, previously, those processes were not measured properly. Okay. So within the projects, we introduced a new reporting module that I will show on the next few slides.
Fantastic.
So this is something that we provide business on a regular basis. They can look on the SLAs and stuff like that. Here you can see the screenshot of the application. That is, how does it look like today? Basically, it's completely translated to our native language. Currently, we are using, or the system is operated within the Czech, Slovakian, and Hungarian language. As you can see on the screenshot here, we implemented also few custom widgets or controls that were not present in the Bizagi studio. So those widgets and custom controls help the users to be able to work with the system in more convenient way. This is the screenshot of the current reporting module that we are providing to the upper management and the team leaders. Basically, why do I have this screenshot here is to stress out that we are using the out-of-the-box reporting for operational reports, but for business reporting, business reports, we are using data from our data warehouse. It is because sooner or later, you will realize that the complexity of the business reports is too high, basically. So our approach was that all the data that are recorded within the BPM tool are automatically uploaded to our data warehouse. And this is basically the business report that is provided to the upper management and to the team leaders. So.
And is this a report that's generally reviewed at certain times during the month, or?
Actually, this is online data.
Ah, fantastic.
So if there is a button where you can refresh all the data that you have available, and you get in real time, you get the real view of what's going on, how many cases do you have, if you are fulfilling the SLA, and how is the workflow distributed according to the certain teams and stuff like that. Okay. Our outcomes. What has changed? After a year in production, we were able to reduce the quotation time by 40%. That helped us very much to prevent the business loss and led to the more flexible service to the sales network. First version of the 38 processes that were automated, we were able to put in production in 6 months. That is something that was way over our expectations before we launched the project. And the choice that we actually choose Bizagi BPM engine, which is combining the business data and the process data together, is something that helped us to speed up the development, to speed up the changes that are deployed to the production environment. So this is something that was a really good choice. Yeah, and nevertheless, we got an award for the large risk application. So I think that it speaks for itself that we are on the right path, basically.
So tell me a little bit more about those 38 processes you did. Did you do them all at once, or did you spend them over a period of time?
Once again?
You had on the slide about you've changed 38 processes.
Yeah.
Did you start with 38, or did you start small, get bigger? How did you do that?
Actually, we started with something, with processes that were simple enough, or the complexity was reasonable, and we tried to grow fast. So in terms that during the time when the projects were started, we were doing deployments on a weekly basis. Basically, that's in the lessons learned on this slide. So we didn't wait until everything is working like a charm, and we deployed the first working version to the business. Of course, that doesn't mean that your job is done. So you need to change the migration schedule according to that you will be able to change the processes very quickly. Actually, right now we are on a weekly release schedule, so we are deploying changes to the system every week. So, yeah, the other thing which is very important, or which was very important that time, is that we, as I mentioned previously, we include the business people in development on a regular basis. So that really helped us to speed up the development and implementation as well. And yeah, we are using agile methodology. We are using currently Scrum, but you can use whatever you want. Basically, the agile will help you to keep the project on track and will provide you a methodology how to do it in a correct way. Our future, as I mentioned, the program is currently running for 8 years, and it's not over yet. Basically, in the future, we are considering to implement or use the Bizagi BPM engine in the fleet underwriting in non-life insurance, because it is an important part of the non-life insurance agenda, and it could, or we hope that it could prevent the business loss during the long quotation time. We are also considering using the Bizagi in the claims area management. And as last but not least, we have also a couple of Lotus Notes applications that we would like to migrate, because we would like to exit the Lotus Notes platform next year. Okay. Now it's time for your questions. There you go.
Just speaking to those 38 processes you have deployed, can you tell us about how many users you have, and if those users are all internal to your network, or if you've got external people as well?
Basically, the BPM team that I'm in charge of is completely in-house. And the other team, which is developing the life insurance portal, they are completely external people. So it's a mixture. How many? BPM team is currently 6 people, including me, and life team that is building the application for brokers, it's currently 11 people.
You're going to get me to run around now, aren't you?
How do you merge Scrum with Bizagi?
Once again?
How do you merge methodology Scrum with Bizagi?
How? Basically, we are using the short sprints, like on within the weekly migration, we are trying to perform the shortest sprints that we can do and deploy the version every week. I don't know if that answers your question exactly. Yeah? Okay.
Any other questions? Right here.
Do you participate with the IT department or?
Actually, I am part of the IT. I was not mentioning that. We are part of the IT, but we are closely cooperating. It's hard to say if it's a IT or not. In organization structure, we are part of the IT, but since we are sitting together with the business all the time, it's hard to say if we are IT or not. Basically, from the organization point of view, we are still IT. We are not part of the business. But since we are sitting together for 7 years almost, it's hard to say that we are IT or not.
Brings up a really good question. How do you interact with the business? How frequently do you do that?
Basically, we are cooperating on a daily basis.
Okay.
Since we are sitting together, it's helping us to prevent the never-ending meetings that you have to go somewhere and deal with the guys on a weekly basis, and then you go somewhere else to implement the change that they said to. Basically, we are doing this on site. We got the regular stand-ups with them, so they are regularly they are part of the team. Like they are attending our Scrum meetings, and we are solving things together on a daily basis. So
great. Any? Sorry. Any further questions? Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.